All right, quick update. So I got left on my log pile. Picking at it a little at a time. So, as the title says, assumptions cost money. I don't want to say assumptions always cost money, but in business, most times when you make an assumption about what your customer wants, you're wrong. Sometimes they're little assumptions, sometimes they're big assumptions. Basically, you assuming you know what the customer wants without specifically communicating with them about that detail, whether it be selling a little bit of firewood or a tens of thousands of dollar project. Communication is key. There's an overarching theme: communication. So a subscriber or commenter mentioned something that happened to them, which actually happened to me earlier this season, where they delivered firewood and the customer wanted them to stack it for that same price. They just assumed it was going to be stacked. And I know for me, I get in a pattern, or you get in a pattern of doing things a certain way, and it works, and you keep doing it. And then all of a sudden, you make an assumption, it costs money, and you never do that thing again. What they had happen to them, which happened to me, my case was I delivered out of my service area. I got a little bit extra money for the driving and just the fuel. And I made them purchase, since my dump truck right now, I can get a full cord when there's sideboards, but I'm still modifying it. I can get 2 face cords in it right now, heaped up in there. And I told them, if you buy 2 face cords, I'll come down, do it for such and such price. So what happened was, I get there, and he says, okay, yeah, back over the lawn, right up to the shed back there. I'm like, ooh, I don't know, it's a little, I don't want to. It was kind of like this. It was earlier in the season, but, well, maybe it wasn't this bad. We got water bubbling out of the ground. But I didn't want to drive on the lawn. I attempted it, and it was actually fine. Had 4-wheel drive. Didn't even need it. Got to the shed, and he opens the doors, and he says, it can go right there. And I knew at that point, here I am, 40 minutes from home. And this guy thought I was going to stack it. But I never clarified. This gentleman, he came up from south of here, never burned before, so wasn't really educated in a lot of the things of firewood. And again, it wasn't communicated. I mean, it was an assumption on his part, but I assumed that he should know I'm not stacking. So there you go. We both assumed, but it cost me. Well, I did get a little bit extra, but it wasn't what I should have gotten for stacking. I just wanted to be able to, be able to actually deliver the wood, not have to take it back, because I would refuse to not stack it. And I was right next to the shed, so within like 10 feet of the truck. But he was not familiar with anything about burning firewood. He just assumed that when you buy firewood, they're going to stack it for you. At least that's what I gathered from it. Guys, assumptions cost money in business, in many things, but in business, you make assumptions without properly communicating to the customer or asking about that detail. You're just assuming you know what they're thinking. Sometimes you're dead wrong. So now, since then, this year, every single person, you know what I say? It's dumped off the truck, no stacking included. Hey, problem solved. You know why? Because assumptions cost money. All right, catch you on the next one.